Gurren Laggan, episode 3 recap. Kamina gets fucked up twice by the same guy. And then Simone comes in and saves the day by adding drills to punches.
Yep, pretty much. Amongst a few other little tidbits. But yeah, that's the layout of it for the most part.
So what did you like?
Oh, I like a lot of things about this episode. You're going to hear that a few times throughout this series. Kamina's over-exuberant, explaining of, how, Simone came in and saved the day. I mean, just the whole episode of, they didn't attack us today. We have to go hunt food. Well, that's pretty cool. Come on, Simone.
I love just how stupid this episode is.
Yeah.
This episode's, really dumb. All the time. There's no breaks on the stupid this episode, and I think that's fantastic. I think that's a great thing.
Literally.
I think we need more stupid in our anime.
Truly.
It starts with this sniper rifle just shot an arrow, and we're going to explain that by, it uses electricity.
Yep.
Fucking what?
Hey,
How does electricity throw an arrow?
Magnetism, my dude.
It's a
railgun.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not,
totally.
Because it fires bullets.
Yeah, bullets? I mean, all you need is a bullet that's magnetically charged one way,
No,
North Pole, and
no.
a gun that fires South Pole,
bro. Because it literally has muzzle flash, and it's not... it ejects shells and shit. There are normal bullets and a normal arrow. Well, and then it just, after that, you see, obviously there's the animals, which, anime animals should never look normal.
I mean, you have a hippopotamus smashed with grapes.
I love the Grappopotamus.
And this episode is the episode that breaks Tyler, just so we're clear. I'm going to mention this guy a few times. He's one of my old school friends. We went to high school together, the 9 yards, and this episode breaks him in so many ways.
Okay, so then the next real bit of stupid is his sword.
Oh god, yes.
When he has this huge monologue that's 5 lines long, and is constantly drawing his sword throughout the whole thing.
The sword just gets longer.
Yeah, and the sword's as long as it needs to be. And I love that, they pull no punches with saying, hey, look at this dick measuring contest that's going on. They're so... Oh my god, this episode's also really gay. It's not only stupid, it's so gay.
It's gay in all the right ways.
It really is.
Yeah, the little battle between him and Viral, hey, you're pretty good with the sword, but you're nowhere near the level of a trained soldier. And hey, men don't go at it. Men act. Sneak attack. Pulling the rogue out.
Yeah, then we lay off the stupid for some good fighting. And then and by the way, I think it's interesting how the stupider things are, the better Kamina gets at everything. I don't know what that really says about him as a character, but the more retarded shit that's happening on screen, the better Kamina's days been.
The better Kamina's days been. The better he's doing in the fight.
Yeah, because he out and out fights Viral, and he stays alive by relying on dirty tricks and surprise, and Viral just not really understanding what's happening in front of him. And he still gets his ass kicked.
Yup.
Viral's so caught off guard and he doesn't realize what's happening or anything like that, and Kamina's still about to die by the time Simone shows up.
Yeah, I heard the gunshots, comes running in. Nah, a nice little homage to things that happen later as well.
And so we should get to the final bit of stupid before we really go on, which is when he fucking steals the helmet from the other guy.
And that is the moment that broke Tyler's mind.
And it's not even that he steals it and wears it for the rest of the show, which he does. It's that he steals it,
spoiler
and
alert.
it immediately changes colors to fit the motif of Gurren, as opposed to what's the name of Viral's ship?
Inky.
Inky.
Yep.
Yeah, it goes from Inky's color to just immediately the red and gold, Iron Man Gurren Lagann colors.
Yep, straight up 100%.
Oh my god. And that gets punctuated in a later episode. But
thoroughly. Look at me in the fucking helmet's bag. God, Tyler's responses to that were great. Yeah, and just the whole craziness of of course, one of my favorite moments, and a lot of foreshadowing in the moment. I'm gonna pull something out of my ass, grab you up, smash you into my head. Look, now we're as tall as you, furball. What? And everybody's just dumbfounded, what? they're gonna combine. They make the combining out to sound so cool, and then it's just wham, grinding metal. Even turns the head at the end to face him. Like, ha, that's combination right there. And like, I have a feeling in Kamina's head it was gonna work the way it did in the end, but he's like, oh, I winged it, and then Viral, I'm gonna kill you guys now. Yeah. It's time for you to die. You're definitely idiotic humans. Energy blast, build up, boom, and bah.
Yeah, this isn't something that I like, but something that the show makers liked was Evangelion. And boy, did they want you to know it this episode. Between how Inky's attacks look and just how NPCs are, not NPCs, how non-major characters in the background, like, react and do things.
Like Leron's reactions.
Like, everything is so Evangelion in this episode, and that's fine. I'm not a big Evangelion fan. I'm not a hater by any means, but like, this show loves that show. Like, this show steals from anime just in general, but this episode is like the Evangelion episode.
If they're paying homage, it's perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, and like, you even get a whole like Sailor Moon transformation.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Like,
there's even some Dragon Ball Z-esque in there with the whole energy field around him, and then and here I am in my new form, shining golden ass whooping time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, like, Inky is just, it shows, like, mechas how much more they have. He's got, like, a shield. He has 2 swords. He has, like, multiple compartments where rockets and explosives are coming out of, like shuriken almost. You know, just going the whole 9 on it. And then there's Gurren. It has drills.
Yeah, I like how Viral, for the first time in any anime, asks the question, wait, what just happened? Why am I losing? And it makes sense that he just wouldn't understand.
100%.
Like, where did these drills come from? Yeah. You were just using your fists. My swords were murdering you.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you just get drills. Where are these drills coming from? Why aren't my swords long enough anymore?
Yep, 100%. It's sweet. The fight's great. Viral dipping's out great. Like, the whole 9 yards. This episode is on point for an episode 3.
Oh yeah, the artwork's great. That definitely dips into the Evangelion bit.
Oh like, yeah.
You never get artwork as good as this episode for like the rest of the show.
No,
it gets more weird and more wild, but like there are background pieces to this episode that you could be like, you know, that might be like a photo of a desert.
Yeah.
And you never get that again in this anime.
Personally,
you just don't.
I'm going to say he's wrong because I think you do. I think there's some very amazing shots. There's some
I'm
very
not
beautiful
saying that there aren't
anime,
any that aren't amazing or that they aren't.
Or are you just saying like
good.
The Evangelion-esqueness to it?
Yeah, I'm saying that you don't get as photorealistic as this episode. And it really tries to sell you on, like, it does a great job of selling you on how big the mechs are based off of landmarks. And like, the one shot where it's Laggan standing in the middle of an empty desert and like the sand is all like rainbow colored in the morning sun.
Yeah,
you don't get anything like that ever again. Like, there are really cool shots when they're in space and they're going through stuff, but nothing looks like...
We're getting into the land of spoilers now.
Nothing ever looks like anything could be a photo ever again, or before this. And like, there are parts in this episode where you're like, damn, this is a photo someone drew a cartoon over. And like, it's not, obviously it's not, but like, you could sell it to someone that like, someone fucked up this masterpiece by drawing cartoon characters on it. Like, you could probably convince somebody of that with a few of the still frames. And like, yeah, obviously I think this show's way better than any one piece of art from it. But
you heard him. He said it's better than One Piece, kids.
That is absolutely not.
I think we need to move on to things you didn't like.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I got you on that one.
Yeah.
Look at the bars on that. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna make some people real mad they own headphones.
Exactly. Anybody that I deafened by that, I apologize just a little bit. But who the hell do you think I am?
See, he got closer to the mic. I always get further away from the mic when I get chatty.
Oh, I'm trying to get right up in it. I want you to hear the ecstasy in my voice for Gurren Laggan. Things you didn't like. I'm gonna let him go first so I can try and think of a few.
Simone, I don't know. Simone's a little bit of a bitch, but at the same time, you have to go into the fact that he's like 7 or something like that.
Yeah,
like
literally.
He's like 12, so it makes sense that he gets to be a bitch in combat. The first couple of times it happens directly to him.
Yeah, but it also gives him that chance to man up and improve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also like that by the end of it, he has improved, and him saying it's time to retreat and not pursue this guy isn't out of fear, it's out of what's actually smart and what should be being done.
Yep, truly. I just like that they didn't eat the 3 animals they killed. Well, I mean, technically the last one wasn't dead, but I mean...
Well, they probably exploded. I mean,
boom!
We busted out the Evangelion lasers. I don't think Hippogrippe is standing up to that.
Yeah, legit. And something that I personally have like a little fight with is like, okay, and no, we'll save that little bit for spoilers. We'll save the lasers for spoilers.
Okay, I'll double back. I really don't like Yoko's weapon. Fuck that. I really hate the
knew we were coming back. It works on electricity. Oh, well, that explains everything.
We have electric guns in the real world, and we don't use them for a reason. That's what I'm gonna say.
Maybe it's an electric gun that fires bullets.
Yeah, we have those. We have those, and they consume too much ammo.
Like
so we
I like that there's
no,
literally
like,
hippopotamuses with grapes growing off of them, and he's like, "Fuck that gun! I don't like that."
Well, yeah, it's an anime. I can believe a hippo with grapes. There are birds that eat it. Like it's are those birds carnivores or omnivores?
I don't know.
Is the hippogrippe a plant?
Is the hippogrippe a plant? I was about to go there. Like, is it? I don't know, man. They don't ever get back to this.
Is the grape of a hippogrippe meat, and is the hippo of a hippogrippe a plant?
Dun, dun,
like,
dun,
at what
dun.
point does a hippo become a grape? Philosophy with anime animals.
I just like where this conversation's going.
Just like where this is headed. This is headed down a very furry path.
Furry path. Yeah, buddy.
All right, so let's get to spoilers if there's nothing else we don't like.
All right, thank God. Spoilers. There's so many little bits in this episode. I mean, the very end of the episode, them stealing power from their opponent to succeed. Guess what, kids? You're gonna see that.
Oh yeah, that's the entire thesis of like the show.
Yep. Oh, your opponent's stronger than you? Well, steal their power and kick their ass with it, or get better, scrub. Like,
something I've mentioned on the other anime podcasts, especially ones that have combat, is I talk about combat as theater versus combat that's trying to have good choreography. And I legitimately have no idea where Gurren Laggan falls on that scale.
Yes.
Do they try to have good fight choreography?
Some of the fight choreography, yeah. Other times, like, they're just overcoming their opponents in different ways.
Right. So, like, once they hop into the mechs, at any point do you feel like consecutive shots are believable in a fight? Like, do you ever get the feel, like, the impact of a blow leading into another blow? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, when we get to the Spiral King fight, I mean, there's so many little tidbits that I love. Like, you know, oh hey, I'm going to grab onto him, and you're going to do the finishing blow. I'm going to hold on to him, you know. And what's the Spiral King do? Go away, pimp slap, douche, completely pwns him, and then, you know, like, that whole fight is just tight. And then, of course, Viral coming back and challenging Gurren Laggan before he even gets to challenge the Spiral King, and just Gurren wiping the floor with him, just evading all of his attacks. Like, you know,
once he busts out the sides, I guess it does get pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, it gets really, really tight. You know.
I don't know. So far I would say that they do a lot of combat as theater so far in the show, at least. Because, like, when it's him versus Viral and they're still on foot, like...
Oh, yeah.
They, like... One attack lands. That's not fantastic choreography. Like, it's not even blocking.
Well, Viral cuts Kamina 3 or 4 times in that fight. They're just small cuts, little lacerations, and of course Kamina gets the sneak attack on Viral, gives him the scar on the face for him to constantly remember.
Okay, I guess I missed. I guess I missed some of the smaller cuts that Viral got in.
Oh yeah, that's why during that whole thing, like Viral starts off by spinning his blade, which has no hook on the finger, by the way, around his finger, and oh yeah, you're an amateur at swordplay. I'm a trained swordsman. Side cuts on Kamina's arm, like
right.
You know, so again, like that's really well choreographed in my opinion, even though it's got the janky Gurren Laggan-esque.
I love the balls on Viral to call himself a swordsman while he's carrying 2 butcher cleavers.
Yup.
Like,
so
I
good.
studied this blade.
Literally.
I'm gonna cut your sword in 2. Let's go.
Yep. And additionally, I like how he starts off trying to sneak attack Kamina with the arrow, and Kamina is like, huh? Oh, evade! You know, and like, where does he get the second arrow, too? Like, he has to pick it up somewhere in that fight, because he didn't pull it out of the creature. It was still in there when he squeezed it and was still alive.
I thought that's how he woke the thing up.
Well, no.
The arrow out.
He squeezes its tail.
Oh.
And then Viral's like, the damn thing's still alive, and he smacks it aside. He's like, where do you think you're going? And he's like, I'm not running away. And then we have the infinitely long sword draw.
Right.
Like, why doesn't he just use that sword the rest of the time? He could Thundercats this shit. Getting into the spoilers, I really, really like this, but I also, like, in my head, it's like, really? Can they all be that strong? Inky uses this awesome Evangelion, like, energy beam blast. And he uses it 3 times. And the first time, he, like, completely obliterates, like, a mountainside. You know, Gurren and Laggan dip off. They run away from that one. The second time, he uses it, and Simone hits him, and the beam shoots off in the distance. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the third time, of course, it gets absorbed into them, and hey, now we're Gurren Laggan. Thanks for the power boost, bro. We promise not to steal your guys' energy and use it against you later.
Yeah.
You know? The key to this that I like in my mind is like, okay, so Beastmen don't have spiral power. So he's just using a fucking generator in his fucking mech to do that? Like, how many other mechs can do this? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, that's a powerful attack. I mean, that's enough to obliterate like cities, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like his mech can just do it? Like, damn.
Well, yeah, I mean, Littner Village has the weaponry to fight these things, and those are the weapons they just kind of threw away.
Yeah, legit.
Like, so yeah, it kind of makes sense to have all that, like, that sort of battery power.
Oh,
if
yeah.
that makes sense. Well, because, I mean, what else would you call the fucking cask that they find Princess in? Like,
just advanced technology.
Well, presumably it was a battery until she ran out of spiral power, gave up hope on living, and then got thrown out.
Yeah, I guess you can see it that way. I mean, I always thought that those were just
why
like
else
isolation
would the king
chambers.
have the different princesses? It's not like
Well,
he
he gets-
ever spends any time with any of them.
Well, he does until he gets bored of them or they piss him off. Because, again, she asked him, like, oh, hey, why was I created? Why am I here? And he abhors, like, self-awareness. And he's like, oh, by the way, throw that one in the valley with all the rest.
Yeah, but so we don't know how many of those princesses that he made throughout the years.
You want to
and we
go
don't
to the
know
valley,
how
bro? We
quickly-
can count the boxes.
And we don't know how many, like how quickly he gets fucking tired of somebody.
Well, again, it said that it's been about 1,000 years. He was in about 1,000-year doldrum, so it's been about 1,000 years since the anti-spirals kicked his ass and sent him packing back to Earth.
Yes, there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of these chests. At some point, even if it's not the king, somebody's gonna figure out a way to extract the spiral power from these humans.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those two. Like, Nia's not a human. She's created. She's like the Beastmen. She has human aspects, but she's Beastman. I mean, she's also anti-spiral too. So.
Yeah, I thought that was the whole Nia isn't human thing. I figured all the rest of the princesses were human.
Well, no, they like.
Because
I know.
Isn't there a line about how the Spiral King makes him in his image?
Yes, and there is also that like village where they train people to go to the capital and be, you know, oh, you're gonna be there, you're gonna be with the king, he's gonna take care of you the 9 yards. But like her eyes, I mean, state that either A, he did some genetics, but I'm pretty sure he created Nia.
Well, yeah, he created her, but in theory, you could create a human.
No, this is true. I mean,
Like,
the Spiral King
the
can do what the
Spiral
fuck he
King-
wants.
Yeah, the Spiral King making her isn't what made her the anti-spiral. The anti-spiral is just something bestowed to her.
Well, yeah, they just integrated into people's DNA, which in itself is janky. But hey, like they got their own universe to fuck around in.
Well, yeah,
You know?
but messing with someone's DNA is how you get flower pupils.
True that. Yeah, there's a bunch of little like aggressor spoilers to this too. Like Viral gonna be the Team Rocket, like, oh, I'll defeat you another day. Like, yeah, that happens quite a few times to him.
Mm-hmm.
He gets more butthurt each time.
Well, wouldn't you?
I would too, but like there was 2 of those times I wouldn't be so butthurt.
Viral gets done dirty, and like in both of these fights, that he wins.
He wins.
He comes home empty-handed.
Oh yeah.
And that like. Can't the same argument more or less be made in the next fight? Like, it is more decisive in Kamina's court the next time they fight. But Viral gets some good licks in. Like, he does damage to Team Gurren Laggan.
Oh, a little bit.
And he's still more or less empty-handed when he goes back.
Oh, yeah. But that fight...
Like, he gets a tiny boost to the pride.
A little bit. Just a tiny bit. God. No.
But, like, he's still empty-handed. Like, he has nothing to show for even the great feat that he accomplishes. If you want to call it that.
Yeah, great feat. He gets his ass kicked. He gets knocked completely unconscious. And then he's like, oh, yeah, humans, we're going to kick your asses. Tim Elf, no, I'll protect you. Pimp slapped. Team Viral is blasting off again.
Oh, really? I thought Viral was the one that fucked up Kamina.
Oh, no. So Viral's talking major shit, and he fights, and he's holding his own against Kamina, and then he's like, oh, but I brought this ace up my sleeve, and that's when Daigunzen comes along and starts, like, it's, oh, hey, that's pretty big, and he goes up on the top of the ship, and Kamina works his way up there, but then he just, comes down, and Lariat kicks him right in the face, knocks him completely unconscious, and he isn't, back conscious until the next episode.
All right.
And then, him and Tim Elf get some good licks in, and they double team Kamina, which is fucking horrible. Get the fuck out of here. But then he gets pimp slapped out of existence, which makes me happy. I mean, just off into the distance, but in my mind, it's he should have died right there, you fucker. I might love this anime a little too much at times. No dying allowed.
I like that. I like that sword and the hippogriff and all of that's perfectly fine, but Viral should have died when he got hit.
Oh yeah. Whap! No, Tim Elf, I'll protect you. Ah! Viral should have died like. Then he should have died. Then Viral has quite a few near-death like. We're just gonna get out of this anime style.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
All right, recap. Have you thought of anything that you didn't like, or are you not done with spoilers?
No, I'm pretty good on spoilers for now. I mean, the more you watch it, you're probably going to figure out a few other little things about it. But yeah, hey, we're going to steal our opponent's power. We're going to steal what they got. Going to keep evolving ourselves via using what they got.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, always believe.
Yeah. No, I like how Liron has the whole foreshadowing of he recognizes that these mechs are fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He just knows this is gonna be wild and I'm not gonna miss it.
Yep, hands down. The whole oh, they're gonna combine. God, get over it and get it done, boys.
Right. I also love how once they combine, it's we're going to name ourselves. This robot's name is now Gurren Laggan, and everyone's like, and it cuts to Liron. Oh, how original!
Yeah, exactly. It's the name of the show, boys. Yeah,
Liron knows he's in an anime.
Yeah,
I think that's his real character trait. He's like, oh, did you guys not see the artist that's drawing us right now?
Yeah, I know.
He's gonna keep us safe. You're fine.
Pretty much. And Liron in himself is okay. He knows everything about mechas already. He's able to prepare them and build it. Come on, man. This dude is too advanced. Are you a beast man on the low key?
Right.
You used to be a spiral warrior, except you sucked at it, so you became a spiral mechanic. Come on. You can tell us, Leron. We won't tell nobody.
I mean, he doesn't have a face like anyone else from Litner Village.
Well, this is true. This is true.
He might be a beast man.
He could be. He'd be like old Coco.
Yeah.
But yeah, all around great episode. Leading into the episode that I like least in the series.
It's so important, though.
It
you
is.
need it.
Yes, it is. It's very important. But it's the one episode where it's like, oh man, I feel kind of bad. And then the ending happens, and I'm like, oh man, I feel kind of weird. And then
you just don't get to feel good at all next episode.
Oh, you do. There's 3 parts of sweet comic relief, but past that, yeah, it's oh man, you think that these things are gods? The hell is wrong with you, village chief? You could do that all along. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, come on.
No, I guess I think it's funny that Kamina doesn't understand anything.
Which is fair enough, but in Kamina's viewpoint, like, hey, like, you guys' life suck. You should make it better. Oh, you just kick people out of the village and keep living your crappy lifestyle? Because, like, I mean, you're afraid, you don't want to move forward, but, like, you got to do something different. This system sucks.
Yeah.
It's like our government. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey! Hey!
Oh
You
shit!
broke a rule!
I broke a rule! I'm a son of a bitch!
You broke the underlined one.
Spoiler alert, I'm gonna do that once or twice.
Don't you fucking dare. It's a rule for a reason.
It wasn't political. I can hate anyone's government.
Oh my god. Why do we talk about how there shouldn't be any more Transformers movies because the Chinese government's evil?
Click, click, bloody click.
Oh my god.
Oh man. But yeah, great all around episode. We'll be back for episode 4. You guys have a good one and stay safe out there.
Eat the rich.